Toronto as our look back at this date in history. At 3:09 up first this afternoon, a record number of Nova Scotians will be among those representing Canada at the London Olympic Games later this month in England. Sprinter Jeff Harris, the latest. He learned Sunday he's made the team, joining 10 other Nova Scotians on Canada's squad. And to tell us more on the phone with us right now is Ken Bagnell. He's the president of the Canadian Sports Centre Atlantic. Hi, Ken.
Hello, Rick. How are you?
I'm well, sir. How are you doing?
Excellent.
Good. Tell us a bit about the Canadian Sports Centre Atlantic. How long has this been in operation?
We've been in operation for about 11 years, and just recently we actually found a home base at the new Canada Games Centre, and we're basing our operations out of there. So for the last year, we've been able to give really a top level of service to the athletes across the province.
So what exactly do you provide for them?
Well, what we do is we hire coaches. We provide them with sports science expertise. We have strength trainers, physiologists, mental trainers, biomechanists on staff to help out with all the athletes and to help the coaches create a world-class environment for our people to train.
Well, it seems like you've been doing a good job because, as I mentioned, we've got a record number of Nova Scotians that'll be, if they're not already, Olympic bound this month.
Yeah, we're thrilled about it, and 11 in all, which is certainly a record moving forward. We had 8 in Beijing, we had 7 in Athens, so we're very pleased to be able to have that many from a diverse number of sports, not only paddlers and sailors, but as we've seen from athletics, swimming, gymnastics, boxing, and judo as well. Yeah,
you mentioned paddlers and canoers, and typically that's been our strength in previous years, but we've got sprinters, you've got boxer Custio Clayton, you've got judo Amy Cotton, you've got a marathoner, a sailor. I mean, yeah, we're all over the map on this one this time.
Yeah, I think what that's showing is that we're getting a tremendous amount of depth across sports within our sports system, and some of those athletes are starting to make their way through.
Do any one of them have a legitimate shot at a medal, gold, silver, or bronze, do you think?
Well, I think all of them are going into London hoping that they have an opportunity to reach the podium, and that's what they've trained so hard for. But certainly the paddlers are traditionally very strong at the Olympic Games. Our last medalist was Steve Giles in Sydney. And I anticipate that the paddlers will be fighting for the podium when their events come in early August.
Yeah, Mark de Jong in kayak, again, a world champion, isn't he?
Yeah, well, he set a world record a few weeks ago and certainly is getting into good shape to be a strong contender at the Games.
We also have a 16-year-old, Ellie Black, from Citadel High here in Halifax. It'll be the first female Nova Scotia gymnast to ever qualify for the Games.
Yeah, a phenomenal story with Ellie, who was going to be a star at the 2011 Canada Games last year here in Halifax, but had an injury and spent all last year recuperating from that injury, and just has shot up the ranks over the past several months and earned her way onto the team. Both her and her coach, Dave Kikuchi, have really got to be saluted for the great work that they've done. And it proves that you can live in Halifax and make Olympic teams in sports other than sailing and canoeing.
Yeah, well said. And again, we've got a boxer, we've got judo, marathon, sailor, swimmer, David Sharp. It's been a while since we put a swimmer in the pool, isn't it?
Well, we haven't ever had a male swimmer in the pool from Nova Scotia. So.
The last one I recall, the last female swimmer anyway. Well, doesn't that go way back to...
Marie Moore. Marie Moore.
Okay, Marie Moore.
Yeah, and then before that, Nancy Garifek.
Yeah.
So it's been a while, and I think it's again a athlete who was trained here, who medaled at the Canada Games in 2009 for Nova Scotia, goes to school at Dalhousie, and once again can prove that we can develop Olympians here in our own backyard.
Well, and again, and your center is a big part of this as well, along with that new Canada Game Center. I mean, that has certainly helped in regards to the to athletes, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's helped an awful lot, and I think the other thing that's been tremendous is the support that we've received through programming through the provincial government as well as through Sport Nova Scotia. And we have, I think we've designed some programs to allow more opportunities for people to generally participate in sport, and then giving more support, you know, for our Canada Games team and our developing athletes, hiring coaches, those types of things. So I think the conditions are in place for success in the future. And now, you know, one of the big things is I think there's a confidence now. I think Nova Scotia athletes believe that they can be among the best in the world, and not just, you know, just not a few sports, but across sports. And they're proving it this year.
And that certainly bodes well for the future, doesn't it?
Yeah, very well. You know, a number of these athletes will certainly be in the prime of their careers for Rio moving forward. So, you know, while it's exciting what's happening here, I think there's a base of athletes who are waiting in behind to, you know, fill in these spots. I mean, just the athletics is relatively new. You know, our first athletes for a long time were in 2008 with Eric Gillis and Adrian Power, and then to have three of them here in the Olympics is outstanding.
Now, how about you? Do you get to go, Ken, or do you have to sit home and watch it with the rest of us on television?
Well, I'm going to watch most of it, but I am going to go for the first weekend. Now I've got to scramble with everybody else and try to get tickets for these events with all these Nova Scotians in it. Well, it's a wonderful problem to have.
It truly is. Well, listen, good luck in that effort. To have a safe trip when you do go, and perhaps we'll chat when you come back, sir.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you very much, Rick.
All right, thanks, Ken. Bye-bye.
Okay.
That's Ken Bagnell. He is the president of the Canadian Sports Centre Atlantic, based out of the Canada Games facility there in Clayton Park. 3:16 our time here on this now. What a weird kind of day. I'm not quite as weird as it was yesterday, but we had a